everyone, I'm Katie from katiewritesstuff.com and it's time to have a knit and a natter. Which sounds a lot nicer than stitch and bitch, don't you think? There are a couple of reasons I'm doing this video today. Firstly because Pam Hopper, hi Pam, asked me in the comments if I could do a video of how I knit, and I thought of doing that anyway, so it seemed like a really good idea since people wanted to see it. So I have recorded myself knitting and I'll just insert some footage of that as we go. Pam was interested in seeing how I knit, my technique, my speed, my rhythm. I hope you find it interesting, Pam, and I hope everyone else finds it interesting as well. I'm knitting double moss stitch in the video that you're seeing. This is the bottom band of the pink cardigan that I'm working on. The double moss stitch is like doing 2 rows of rib, and then the next 2 rows are sort of offset, so your knit rows become purl rows and vice versa, and then you put it back and you just keep going, and it does that sort of bobbly textured effect, which looks quite nice. I'm thinking of doing a series of these knit and natter videos so I can show you different stitches that I do. So my next one will be stocking stitch with my stripy jumper, and then the lace and knot pattern for the next cardigan, and whatever I decide for the cardigan after that. Now, before we go on, I'm going to tell you what I'm wearing so I don't accidentally leave you all in suspense like I did last week. This is a jumper I talked about last week in my video. This is the white wool that I'm going to use in my striped jumper, which is my next project. And yeah, this is what I did with it first time around. It is from Patons Knitting Book 282, and this is the original, which I believe was done in yellow and brown, which is a very popular combination in the 40s. But I went with white and blue because I had white and blue. I planned to make a completely different project with this, and then I decided it wasn't my style, so I made this instead. I hope you've grabbed your knitting and you're knitting along. I would knit as I'm recording, but I probably get distracted and there'd be weird gaps while I was like looking at my knitting. And let me know in the comments below what you're knitting as you watch, so I would be most interested to know. Now, I wanted to show you the sleeve of the cardigan. I always forget how long the sleeves take compared to the front and back, so I powered through the front and back pieces and I got to the sleeve and it seemed to take forever. This is the saddle shoulder effect, so the front and back pieces will be stitched into that, and then it has this sort of, oh thanks Pickle, and it has this sort of pokey outy feature, that's the technical term, which you can see in the pattern photograph. And I was wondering how it was done, like did you sort of gather it up and stitch it together? But no, it turns out it's a bit like turning the heel on a sock. So you do short rows, which are rows where you don't knit all the way across, you sort of turn around part way through, and decreases, and in this case it was work 3 together, which I did by slipping 1, knitting or purling 2 together, and then passing the slip stitch over. So you start with 3 stitches and end up with 1, and then it does that. So I'm so excited to finish the other sleeve. I have ordered more wool, because even though I have this much left, I'm pretty sure I cannot finish a sleeve and do the button band with it. And I read a cautionary tale on the Twisted Yarn by Phil, can't remember her last name, but she's amazing and funny, and you should read that blog even if you don't knit because you'll enjoy it. And she told a tale of doing a crochet border on a blanket with the underlying feeling that she didn't have enough yarn to finish it. And she was in denial right up until the point where she was that far from the end and she ran out of yarn. And I thought, well, I'm going to use that as an example, and I'm going to order myself some new yarn because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to finish, and I don't want to be that close to the end of my cardigan and then having to go order my new wool and wait for it. So I went to Bendigo Woolen Mills and I ordered some more, so I feel much calmer now. So my other reason for making this video is to let you know that I'm probably going to do fortnightly videos from now on instead of weekly. There are a couple of reasons for this. Firstly, I've been working on revamping my blog, and I want to get into creating regular content for that because I love writing. It's part of my username here after all, so I'd like to prove that there's a reason for that. And my thought is perhaps I'll do a fortnightly video and a fortnightly article on my blog, and that will sort of alternate. I recently wrote an article all about the benefits of knitting, and I had so much fun doing that. I will link it below. I recommend everybody read it, not just because I wrote it, because there's so much information about what knitting does for you. It's literally, you cannot do anything better than knit. So if you already knit, the article will prove that you're on the right track, and if you don't knit, hopefully you'll be inspired to take it up after reading all the research and things that I've discovered. And the other reason is that it does take a bit of time to do a video, and anyone who makes videos on YouTube knows that the recording is the easy, quick bit, and it's the editing and the shooting of extra footage and the designing and making all the extra images and things that go with it that takes up the time. And I would like to use some of that time to sew in order to have things to show you in my next video. For example, I'm hoping that I can edit this video pretty quickly and get it uploaded because I want to make a new dress this weekend. I want to finish my polka dot dress so I have something new to wear and I can move on to my skirt. I'll hopefully be able to show you those in May. So that is my plan at the moment. I will still do regular videos, they will just be fortnightly. I really like making them and I really like chatting to you, and it's so much fun when I get to have a chat with you in the comments as well. And that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I knit, and I'd be interested to see how you all knit as well. So if you're able to get out a video and record your knitting style, I'd be interested to see it. So let me know in comments if you're going to do that, or if you have done that already. I'd be fascinated to see it. So I do hope you're having a lot of fun out there with all your knitting and sewing, and do let me know if you were knitting, what you were knitting while you were watching the video, because I'd be fascinated to know. Otherwise, just drop me a comment in general and we can have a chat. I do like having a chat with you all. And I will see you all again in a fortnight with hopefully a lot of amazing things that I've made in the meantime. Bye.